Hello everyone. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys some tricks which I think could be beneficial to y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this kind of video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video as well. When defending the Evo barrel with an Evo cannon, placing the barrel in the middle like that when you're expecting an Evo cannon to defend it, this is not the best possible position. There is another better position, which if you play the barrel behind your tower, you are going to get more damage because the cannon will miss some more goblins. If you play the Evo barrel behind the tower, they go for the Evo cannon, they are going to miss a lot of the goblins, which and you'll be able to get much more damage this way. So when you're expecting an Evo cannon played on the Evo barrel you're about to play, best placement is to place it behind the tower. This next tip, maybe some of you guys know about it, maybe some of you guys don't, but I'm gonna show it anyways. That thing can be useful when the Mortar is coming down the lane, when it's on the outer tile like that. You can play the Ice Spirit in that tile and placement to defend the Magic Usher, and also play the King Tower, which is very nice and helps a lot against bridge spam decks. For this next tip, when you are playing against a Mortar deck and you have Skellies or Goblins, you can play the Skellies in this timing and placement on a Mortar, and you're able to activate the King Tower, which can be very helpful against usually Mortar bait matchups since they have a lot of Swarm, so definitely a nice tip to keep in mind. Alright, for this next one, with a well-timed mini pekka ability, you are able to evade the King Tower activation a lot of the times because the opponent like the mini pekka stays in place for a while, so it actually doesn't get pulled by the tornado. This is very key, very important to keep in mind if you know you are playing up against a tornado deck with the mini pekka. Can be really helpful, especially if they're down on elixir. Usually, when there's a balloon coming down the lane, if you fireball the balloon like this, you're gonna push it back, but the balloon is still gonna be able to get a hit on the tower. But you can actually deny this hit. There is a very precise fireball timing that if you're able to pull off, you can actually negate that one balloon hit, which can be huge in the long run, like this. But this timing is very difficult to pull off, and it's very risky. But like, if you're gonna take the one balloon hit, you might as well try to get that timing down in a real game. When you are up against a monk while using the hero musketeer, there is actually a very precise timing which you can play the hero musketeer ability, so the musketeer itself does not die to the monk, which is really helpful in keeping the musketeer alive, which can prove like fruitful in a big push when the musketeer stays alive. If you're against RG Barbarrel, for example, and they can't get to that musketeer, so they might need to fireball it, which can be really good, and you also have the turret aggroing the RG as well. For this next tip, this is actually a very important one. There is a way to counter the recruits every time with the skellies. You have to play it like this, where one of the skellies, they all get hit by the same recruit. This is very important because if the skellies are not played like that, then the three recruits will just kill each skeleton separately, and the skellies will die, which can be very important while defending a big push. You have to play the skellies so like at least one or two of them get hit by three recruits. This tip is very important for long bait players who are probably playing same opposite lane from for example a cycle deck, whatever deck it is, and you want the princess to hit the tower from here. You have to place the princess like this and immediately play the Ice Spirit, so it pushes the princess and she's able to actually lock on the tower, and the opponent doesn't have much time to react to it. Like it's definitely reactable, but they can still get caught off guard because they'll think the princess will go out the cannon or the cage or any defensive structure. For this next tip, many people probably already know about this, but you're actually able to activate the King Tower on a bowler which is on the outside spot. If you place the Tesla like this, the timing doesn't matter. You just need to place it before the bowler actually hits the tower. That should be a free King Tower activation. This is actually very important because usually bowler decks mean graveyard, whether it be graveyard freeze or giant graveyard. So this kind of activation, very important to keep in mind. And of course, if the bowler is not on the outside tile, then you can bring it over with like a spirit like this, and then you can do the same test placement, and it should hit the King Tower. For this next tip, this is actually kind of important for RG players who use Fisherman and Log. When you are going up against a Hog Rider, you can actually activate your King Tower for no hits with a well-timed Fisherman plus a Log on the Hog Rider, like this. But this timing is not very easy to do. You need to synchronize the Fisherman and the Log placement like that. But taking no hits and having a counter pushing Fisherman is pretty good. For this next tip, this is actually a very useful tip when you are playing the Archer Queen and the Ice Spirit. Let's say you're playing pigs and you're up against a monk deck, you can actually Ice Spirit and then ability right away, right before the ability. And because this works very well because the monk cannot activate its ability when it's frozen. So a very niche interaction like that can actually make the queen deal a lot of damage on the monk, which can be huge when you are playing against RG matchup. For this next tip, this is actually very important for RG players when they're trying to activate their King Tower on a ghost like this. When the ghost is played on the outer tile and you try to activate with the King Tower with the fisherman is not going to activate the King Tower due to the new pathfinding thing. I don't know when they implement this exactly, but it's new, and the fisherman simply does not activate the King Tower anymore. You can only activate the King Tower when the ghost is placed on that like inner kind of side, far away from the bridge. So then this allows the fisherman to do that little walk it does, which makes it able to activate the King Tower. So if they play the ghost here, you can activate a king with the fisher. But if the ghost is here, you can't, and in the middle tile also doesn't work. This is actually a pretty nice tip, and to be honest, I kind of call this the Riley tip because he was the one who actually pretty much told everyone about it. This princess placement can be fireball, but with this very nice Skelly's timing and placement, you can actually react to a fireball on the princess and push the princess a little bit by the Skelly's, so it actually evades the fireball. This is a pretty cool tip to know. Can be helpful against 2.6 Hog and other fireball kind of decks when you're playing log bait. For this next tip, it's actually a very useful tip because you can actually fully counter a battle ram with this kind of cannon placement for no hits, which is actually a really nice interaction because in comparison to when you play the cannon normally, like for example you play the cannon in the middle right here, it's actually not going to defend the battle ram very well because the barbarians are going to go onto the tower and get 2 or 3 swings each depending on true red and true blue. So playing the cannon high is always better, so the barbarians have to tower. And that's all for today's video, guys. And let me know if you guys learned anything. You guys ended up learning something in this video. Let me know in the comments. You guys enjoy.